It's all over.
What's up, my Vault Dwellers? It's me, Rob here, and welcome back to another Fallout 4 perk chart analysis video. So let's get going. This morning, Bethesda posted the Endurance Special Attribute video, and actually, we got a lot of info about the perk. I think I pretty much figured out the entirety of the perks. Again, this series is all speculation. It's just me looking at the videos and trying to interpret what's going to happen in the game. So by no means I'm confirming this. I'm not saying this is confirmed, but without further ado, let's get going on the video. To begin with, let's get going with the abilities section of the video. Now, when I say abilities, I mean what the perk is going to do outside of the perk. So what the perk is going to affect. So, endurance didn't change a lot of stuff. It's going to affect your radiation resistance, your damage resistance, and all that stuff. But something new that I noticed is from this screenshot, we can see that the narrator talks about eating food and keeping yourself healthy, but as you can see, it says food and water. So this kind of raises the question of like if there's going to be a survival aspect. Of course, we had like no sort of like survival stuff in Fallout 3. It was more prominent in New Vegas. But this kind of makes me think: is there going to be like some sort of hardcore mode? Like, it's going to be like, do we have to drink water, frequently? Do we have to eat? Do we have to sleep? It just raises a lot of questions. But of course, endurance is going to be managing this also. I'm assuming if you have a higher endurance, you can probably go on in your travels across the wasteland without eating and drinking as much water. Also, endurance also affects the ability of you eating more stuff. You can eat all the, you can eat sugar bombs, you can eat dandy boy apples, but of course, if you have a higher endurance, you're able to, I guess, quote-unquote, hunt for food, as shown by the video. You can go hunt mirelarks, or you can go eat strange meat if you want, for God's sakes. And you can, maybe having a higher endurance will increase the ability of you to eat more types of food. And going into that, cannibalism is introduced. Now, there is a perk connected to this, so we'll talk about this later. Now, before we move on to the perk section of the video, of course, they do mention how endurance is going to be handling your sprint ability and how many action points it drains while you sprint. Alright, so now that we're done with all the ability stuff, let's get going with the perks, which I'm pretty excited because I think I have the entirety of the endurance perk column kind of figured out. So let's talk about what the perks that they showed in the video. They showed what I'm going to be calling the underwater breath perk, which we can clearly see that if you have more points on this perk, you'll be able to breathe longer underwater, which is completely new. We didn't have a underwater perk or skill in Fallout 3 in New Vegas. We did have the rebreather in New Vegas, which allowed you to like just go and just dive underwater and just just breathe, just breathe and have like no problems. I'm assuming that maybe because there's a perk related to that, there probably won't be some sort of rebreather because there will be no point of having it if there's a perk related to that. After that, they go and talk about a previous perk, the Adamantium Skeleton, which has been seen in all of the Fallout games, in all the Fallout previous games. And what it does is it increases, or I guess decreases, your chances of your limbs getting crippled when taking damage. Now, it doesn't increase your resistance to damage; it just decreases the chance of your limbs crippling. And then at the end, they talk about the Cannibalism perk, which of course will allow you to eat someone else. Now, again, like the way perks are working, you can upgrade them and you probably get more options, but I don't know, what type of like, I mean, if you upgrade the Cannibalism perk, like, well, I'm assuming that maybe you'll get more health, maybe you'll get more, plus attributes. That's what I'm thinking. Like, maybe if you like have the Cannibalism perk, you can eat someone, but you only get like 15 health or something like that for the first human body, and then as you progress, you'll get more and more health, or maybe even more side effects. And finally, let's get talking about the entire perk column. As you can see, I'm going to be using a lot of different images that I'm going to be trying to link all of them in the description. Again, I don't have all of these links simply because I just saw the images on Google Images and I just downloaded the images, but I'm going to try to find the link to those original images and send it to you guys. Of course, all I did was just Google perk chart Fallout 4 on Google. So if you guys want to look at this perk chart for the other perks, go for it. Again, I'll be leaving hopefully those links in the description. So let's get going. So level 1, it's pretty simple. As you can see, it's obviously toughness. That's the first perk that is clearly obvious, and we all know that toughness is going to increase your damage resistance. So that does mean that the more you put towards this perk, the more damage you're able to resist. The second perk is Lead Belly, which is these are all old perks from the Fallout games. Lead Belly, what it does, it allows you to drink more irradiated water. I'm not saying that you can't drink more. Let me clarify. you are able to drink irradiated water and you'll get less irradiated. So the more points you put towards the Lead Belly perk, the less irradiated you will get from drinking irradiated water. The third perk is, again, another old perk, and that is going to be Life Giver. What Life Giver does, it increases your hit points or your health points. So I'm assuming the more points you put towards this perk, the more health you'll be able to obtain over time. The fourth perk is the Chem Resistance perk. Now again, these are a lot of familiar perks from the fall game, so I'm kind of interested about that. That this we've seen a lot of new perks, but now we're actually seeing kind of like they're going back to the old perks. So what this perk does, it pretty much just is you're less likely to develop an addiction when you're using drugs. So again, this kind of confirms that drugs are going to be back in the game, but that was kind of already assumed. So again, the more points, maybe the more points you put into this perk, you'll have more chances. Maybe like if you only had 1 point towards this perk, after 10 uses of Jet, you'll get addicted. Maybe you put another point, it'll be 8 times, and so on and so on. Now, level 5 is going to be the Underwater perk, the Underwater Breath perk, which will allow you to breathe, or I guess hold your breath for longer underwater. The level 6 perk is the Rat Resistance, again another old perk. This one is pretty self-explanatory. The more you put, the more points you put towards this perk, the more you'll be able to resist radiation, and the less quick, the slower the effects of radiation will get to you. Then after that is the level 7, which is again the Adamantium Skeleton, which will decrease the chance of breaking your limbs. Then after that is the level 8, the Cannibalism perk, which of course gives you the ability to eat people, and hopefully the more points you put towards this perk, the more points of health and secondary effects you'll be able to get from eating people. And then level 9 is the perk that I have no idea what it is. Now, it's very hard to tell what the Vault Boy is doing. Now, it does look like he's running away from an explosion, and because they did talk about sprinting in the video, I want to correlate that with sprinting. Now, this is the perk that I have no idea what it is. Now, so again, it looks like the Vault Boy is running away from an explosion. So what I like to believe is that the more points you put towards this perk, maybe the longer you'll run, the faster you'll run. I mean, that's the same thing. Maybe like the less points it will drain from your action points. So let's say if you sprint for 10 seconds with only 1 point on this perk, or this perk is not active at all, maybe you completely run out of action points. But if you put 1 point towards this, maybe it'll take 15 seconds. That's kind of like that's overdoing it, but that kind of system, and that does kind of make sense. Again, this is like the one perk that I have no idea what it is. So please, if you guys kind of know what it is or have an idea, let me know in the comment section below. And at the end, the level 10 perk is the Solar Power perk, which again is an old perk. And what the Solar Power perk did was, if you were outdoors between the time of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., you would gain +2 strength and health regeneration over time. So maybe the more points you put towards this perk, the more health you'll get, the more side effects you'll get for being outside during the daytime. And so that's pretty much going to be it. That is everything that we can get from the endurance video and how that is going to be affecting in-game. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. This was a more well-rounded video because we had so much more info about the perks and they were kind of easier to tell. And again, actually kind of from now on, like most of the special attributes, the perks are more identifiable. I think mostly because they're old perks. That is why they're identifiable, because people can be like, oh, that looks like that perk and that perk. So again, kind of like we've seen a lot of new perks, but now we're seeing more of the old perks. So again, it's not a completely different fall game, but I like the changes. So what do you guys think of the endurance perk? Are you gonna be I'm sorry, about the endurance attribute? Are you gonna be putting points towards it for the sprinting, the longer you can sprint, radiation, damage resistant, or are you gonna be avoiding it for other stuff like cannibalism stuff? What's gonna be your playstyle and all that stuff? And I really want to know what do you guys think of that level 9 explosion Vault Boy, guys. So please let me know in the comment section below. And also, guys, we are 5 subscribers away as of recording this moment. We are 5 subscribers away from 5,000 subscribers. That is fucking insane. I don't understand. So I'm trying to think, because I definitely want to do something for you guys. I'm trying to like gather my thoughts and see what I can do. But I'll keep you guys updated. If you guys want to follow with me on those updates, make sure you follow me on Twitter and all that stuff. But if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like below and subscribe for more fall content. My name is Robert, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Happy vault dwelling.